Hi beautifuls, welcome to my channel. So I wanted to introduce myself really quickly. I am the Privileged Society, and the Privileged Society is where I share my experiences as a person that believes in and directly benefits from the concept of pretty privilege, which is the idea that you might enjoy special privileges in society if you are considered to be pretty or attractive by societal standards. I want to make a quick disclaimer that me speaking about my privileges I experience in society because of my looks are not to brag or to make anyone feel bad about not having pretty privilege. My goal with this channel is quite the opposite. I actually want to help you on your glow up journey, and I want you to know how much better your life can get simply by enhancing your physical appearance. I also hope to connect with other girls who maybe already have pretty privilege, and I hope that my channel can really be a safe space for you to learn and thrive as a pretty girl or a girl who wants to be pretty, because we deserve to have a community and a safe place to talk about our experiences, literally just like everyone else. So if you're interested in glowing up, or if you're interested in attaining pretty privilege, or maybe you already have it and you want more, that's okay too. You should want as much privilege as you possibly can, honestly. So if that is you, this is definitely the community for you, and I'm so happy you're here. So yes, I basically just answered the question in my introduction. Pretty privilege is the idea that you'll be treated better in life. You might have access to better opportunities. You might enjoy special privileges in society. Your life might just generally be easier if society considers you to be pretty or attractive in their eyes. There are a lot of people out there that are in denial, like just flat, straight up denial that pretty privilege is real, like that it's even a real thing. And I think that that could be for a number of reasons. Some people really just aren't that educated on human psychology and the way the world works, the way society operates. Some people, they don't have a point of reference that they need to relate to the conversation about pretty privilege because they've never had the experiences. And some people they really don't want people to know that pretty privilege is a thing because they don't think that they can attain it. So they don't want you to be able to attain it either. But all of that, personally, I disagree. I very much believe that pretty privilege exists, and that's because I benefit from the system daily. And I really just want to be honest about my experiences on the other side of the system. And I also want to give tips and advice to people that want to benefit from the system, for people that want pretty privilege, for people that want their lives to be easier. This channel can teach you how to attain these privileges, because pretty privilege is not something that you have to be born with. You can attain it. And this is my introduction to my channel. And yeah, without further ado, let's get into the rest of the video. So, I am considered a pretty person in society. I consider myself to be very conventionally attractive, and I receive a lot of feedback from society, both in person and on social media, to reaffirm that fact. And I'm not going to get too in-depth about my personal looks in this video particularly, because this is just kind of an introduction to my audience and my channel, and I have a lot of videos coming, so don't worry about that. But I say this to say that as an attractive person, pretty privilege is real. Whether or not you choose to believe it's real, or if you choose to partake in the system, that is completely up to you. That is your business, and honestly, I am not here to try to change your mind on that. I'm here to speak on my own personal experiences with this privilege. So as someone that experiences this privilege every single day, literally every single day, pretty privilege is real. And by accepting the fact that pretty privilege is real, you are setting yourself up for success. because if you acknowledge that it's real, you are also acknowledging how the world works as a whole. People that don't believe in pretty privilege, honestly, they're holding themselves back. But if you're listening to this, if you clicked on this video, that's not you. I have a strong feeling that's not you. So I'm going to walk you through some of my own personal experiences and provide some examples of what I believe is me experiencing pretty privilege. And if you can maybe relate to any of these, there is a good chance that you have pretty privilege too. So the first and honestly the most obvious sign of having pretty privilege is you might get a lot of validation from the people around you or just from society as a whole that you're pretty. And what I mean by that is people are constantly commenting on or complimenting you on your looks. Me personally, just in my day-to-day life, whenever I go to Trader Joe's, whenever I go to, my little stores, errands, going to the mall, going out at night with my friends, people are pretty much constantly complimenting me. I personally get the most compliments about my hair, about my face, and about my outfits. My photos go viral because I'm pretty. And I became Pinterest famous because whenever I would go viral on the different social medias, people would repost my photos and my videos to Pinterest, and they would continue to spread. And I would get tons of compliments in the comments on Pinterest, like not even on my own social media. Recently, I was on a vacation, and every worker I encountered at every casino I went to commented on my looks. People were telling me I was beautiful. People were stopping me to tell me I was pretty. And I'm not saying any of that to be braggadocious. I am saying that to say I receive some sort of confirmation from society that I fit into a specific standard of beauty pretty much daily. And just by the way, this is not me saying that you should rely on society and other people's opinions of your looks in order to believe that you are beautiful. That is a pretty toxic way of thinking and honestly a terrible basis for building confidence and self-esteem. You don't need anyone to tell you that you're pretty in order to know that you're pretty. If you know you're pretty, you just know you're pretty. And that's just it. But I am saying that if your beauty is something people will go out of their way to comment on and give you compliments for, that is a pretty high indicator that you are experiencing pretty privilege in society. So another way to know if you maybe might be experiencing pretty privilege is if people go out of their way to do special favors for you or just do something like extra for you that they wouldn't normally do for just anyone. I'm going to use my experiences with nightlife and specifically clubbing for this example. So whenever I'm going out to a club, and this mainly happens whenever it's a group of pretty girls, like me and my friends. For context, all of my friends are absolutely drop-dead gorgeous girls. Like they are bikini models, influencers, etc., just stunning. When we go out to the club, we rarely, if ever, I think, have to worry about standing in a line. If one of us doesn't already know someone that works there and can get us in without having to wait in a line, someone that works there, if we go to stand in line or if we even just walk past the club, someone that works there will notice us and personally pull us in so that we're not waiting in line. And this is because clubs, they basically just want to get as many beautiful women in as quickly as possible because that attracts more men into the club, and in the hopes that the men will spend more money on tables and bottle service and drinks, etc. It's a business strategy, and it works. Another part of pretty privilege in nightlife is getting special perks in the club. Like, for example, you might be offered a VIP section table. You might be pulled into another person's VIP section table. You might get pulled onto the stage to party with the DJ behind the DJ table. That's a really good indicator to know if you're pretty, because that's usually kind of just exclusively reserved for the pretty girls. Just generally enjoying benefits not really available to the general populace of the club. People working outside around the entrance of the clubs that we pass that we're not even going into will beg us to come to their club instead of wherever we're going. Because the more pretty people you have in your club, the more money you make. We don't buy our own drinks. We don't pay cover charges. We have an easier time being out at night than we would if we didn't have pretty privilege. So if people are going out of their way to kind of help you, they're offering you things that are not offered to everyone else, giving you upgrades, free things, stuff like that, that is a high indicator that you are very much benefiting from pretty privilege. So another easy indicator of maybe having pretty privilege is when you're walking around in your day-to-day life, just being yourself, do you command a lot of attention pretty easily? Do you notice that people's eyes kind of linger on you? Or maybe people do double takes on you? Do you notice people kind of break their necks almost to look at you sometimes? Like they kind of can't help it, like it's uncontrollable? This is because humans are very visually driven creatures. And whenever we see something that we like, regardless, honestly, of if it's a person, place, object, literally anything we find beautiful as people, we often find it very hard to not look, and honestly even harder to look away. And the same thing can be said for your physical beauty as well. Whenever I'm walking down the street, people will slow down their car to look at me whenever they drive past. Whenever I walk into a store or something, I can kind of feel all of the eyes turn to me. And this is because whenever you are beautiful, whenever you are pretty, your beauty makes you hyper visible in society. And if you are hyper visible because you're pretty, that is a form of pretty privilege. You take up more space as a beautiful person than someone that is maybe less visible or invisible. There is something about you that is setting you apart from everyone else. And if you get a lot of attention, that is a good sign that you have pretty privilege. So another telltale sign of having pretty privilege is if you have a lot of haters, or if you experience a lot of jealousy from people, specifically from other women. Because, and I'm not going to get too far into this one because I want to do a full video on jealousy while you're pretty and how to deal with it and everything like that. But if you find that you don't really do anything to warrant jealousy, if you don't really do anything to, like, you wouldn't understand why someone is envious of you, that is a really good sign that you have pretty privilege. Because if you have pretty privilege, even if you don't know it, other people know it. And people are very jealous of people that have privileges that they do not have and that they feel like they can't attain. So you might be the target of maybe a little bullying, or people kind of being mean to you for no reason. Maybe you get outcasted a little bit. Again, I'm going to do like a full video on this one, so I'm not going to get too deep into this right now. But if you have a lot of haters for no reason, it's not for no reason, it's because you're pretty. And that is actually a privilege. People being jealous of you, that means that you have something that they want. And that something is your pretty privilege. So again, I am not really here to debate with anyone if they believe pretty privilege is real. I honestly don't care if you think pretty privilege is real, because my own experiences are real, and my experiences confirm to me that pretty privilege exists. These were just a few small, tiny examples of how I benefit from pretty privilege in my daily settings. My life would definitely be a lot harder and honestly a lot less fun if I wasn't privileged with my good looks in society. And, I'm so grateful that I was given the gift of beauty because I also want to share my gift and I want to share my knowledge of these things to my audience. If you don't experience pretty privilege, I really just want to help you gather the knowledge and the tools so that you can go out and attain it for yourself. And that really is my purpose of this channel, to help people level themselves up and really be in a position to take from life what you want to, what you deserve to. Pretty privilege, especially for women, really gives you access to a different life. It gives you access to things that a lot of people can only dream of. And pretty privilege can honestly be the difference between a good life and a great life. And I want to help you obtain that for yourself. So if any pretty girls do relate to any of these points, I would absolutely love to hear your experiences around pretty privilege and maybe these specific examples that I gave and how pretty privilege enhances your life or makes your life better in the comments, because there are people that don't believe that it can, but our experiences say otherwise. I would absolutely love if my channel was a safe haven for pretty girls to speak on their experiences being pretty without having to deal with the hating and gaslighting and humbling that people that cannot relate to us try to employ on us to silence us and humble us and make us think that we're actually not all that when we know we are, and they know we are too. So if you like this video, I have a ton of content coming, so please like and subscribe and stay tuned for my next one. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave your thoughts below and I'll see you next time. Bye!